Coming up, boggle your brain with a mirror maze.
Create your own cool-tasting kimchi.
Give your thumbs the thumbs up.
And build a battery-powered alarm guaranteed to bust those jelly bean burglars.
Uh-oh, if Grace gets caught, she's going to end up in hot water.
Oh yeah, and she's not the only one heading for a watery experience. Let's go poolside and see if poor old Billy is going to sink or swim.
Billy is so silly. He just can't stay out of the swimming pool. Typical, straight to the bottom. Pity he couldn't stay afloat better. If it weren't for that air mattress, he'd sink like a stone. Curious? It's super easy floating at the beach, so why is it so difficult in pool water? I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
This model has taken me ages to put together. I think when I finally finish, I'll deserve a few treats from my candy jar. Boy, do I love those sweet, sweet jelly beans. Candy. What? My candy jar has been robbed. Aha! There's the culprit, and she's gobbling all my goodies. What I really need is an alarm system on my bedroom door. Okay, I've got a battery, an electric buzzer, and these wires to connect them. I need to find a way to make the alarm go off when she steps through my bedroom door. I'll need 2 pieces of tin foil, some card, and a roll of sticky tape. I'll tape a piece of tin foil to each end of this folded card. So when I bring the 2 sides together, the tin foil touches. I'll pop a piece of foam in there so the sides touch only when someone stands on it. Now I'll build my electric circuit. One side of the card is connected to one of the terminals on the battery. The other side of the card is connected to the buzzer. There. And there. And the buzzer is then connected to the second terminal on the battery. So, now when 2 sides of the card touch, the buzzer will go off and let me know that there's a burglar about. I'll just hide my alarm device here under the carpet and then wait for that pesky thief to appear.
Electricity from the battery powers the buzzer, though only when it can travel from one terminal all the way around the wires and back to the battery again. This is called a circuit. The foil on the card acts as a switch because electricity can flow through it. When the foil is pushed together, the circuit is complete and the buzzer goes off.
Ah, caught you in the act, you thief. Grace will never get past my room alarm again.
That jar full of jelly beans is safe at last. But I don't think Billy's floating technique looks safe at all. And I think he's about to find out why.
Floating in a pool is way more difficult than floating in seawater. Now Billy and I are going to find out why. I reckon it's because ocean water is saltier. To find out, we'll need salt, a spoon, 2 eggs. Well, don't drop them. And some food colouring. We'll also need 2 bowls. One bowl is the sea, the other the swimming pool. I'll get Billy to fill up the swimming pool first. Then the sea. We need more water. While Billy gets that, I'll draw faces on the 2 eggs. Now, first I put salt into our sea. More salt. Now, food colouring. I think the sea will be blue today. Now let's stir the salt so it dissolves. More stirring. So now we have our own mini sea and mini pool. Time for these eggs to take a dive. Now we'll see how they float. Emily and I are going to our friend's birthday party. We've bought her a pair of gloves as a present. And now we're making our own matching wrapping paper. What better to wrap gloves in than paper with hand shapes on it? Aren't hands a funny shape? I've never thought about that before. All my fingers are pretty much the same shape, but my thumbs are quite different. I wonder why. What would it be like to have no thumbs? Emily, I have a little challenge for you. Hold out your hand. I'm going to tape down your thumb. I want to see how you can manage without it. There. Now try and do something. Can you pick up your drink? Ha, no. That's impossible without a thumb. Now try writing something. You can't even pick up a crayon. Life's pretty hard without thumbs. One last test. Can you do up a button on your top? Thank goodness for thumbs.
Humans have what are called opposable thumbs. Opposable means that they are placed opposite our fingers and make it much easier to grab, grip and pick things up. Apes and some monkeys also have opposable thumbs. Some of them even have opposable toes. This all helps them grip better when climbing trees.
I think it's time we all took more care of our beautiful thumbs. Emily and I are going to have the prettiest thumbs at the party.
Wow, so many things we couldn't do without our thumbs. I couldn't thumb a lift,
I couldn't give your silly jokes the thumbs down.
and neither of us would be able to give Sarah's yummy kimchi a well-deserved thumbs up.
Mum's asked me to make a jar of delicious kimchi. It's her favourite. She says to put in lots of salted cabbage leaves, really hot chilies, and plenty of garlic. What happens inside the jar that makes the kimchi taste so delicious? I'm gonna see if I can find out. I have 3 plastic cups, some flour, some sugar, and the ingredient Mum says is a key to kimchi, dry yeast. So I'll write number 1 on this cup, number 2 on this one, and a smiley face cup. That's just for holding water. So cup number 1, it gets 2 tablespoons of flour, then 2 tablespoons of sugar. Stir them up. Now cup number 2, same amount of flour and sugar, but this cup gets a teaspoon of yeast as well. There. Now I stir that one up. Now we put a couple of tablespoons of water into each. Give them both a good stir and wait to see what happens to our gooey mixtures. Well, I've been watching my experiment for an hour and something very interesting has happened. Cup number 1 looks exactly the same as before, but look at cup number 2. It's bubbling and it's grown. The cup has nearly twice as much gooey stuff in it.
That's because the yeast has enzymes in it that break down the glucose in the flour and sugar mixture. That reaction creates bubbles of carbon dioxide gas that makes the mixture expand. This process is known as fermentation. In Sarah's kimchi, the fermentation changes the taste of the cabbage. That's why kimchi is such a popular Korean dish.
No wonder Mum says yeast is the thing that makes kimchi so tasty. I better not eat the whole jar, or there'll be nothing left for Mum.
Finished that one. And finished another one, Ashley. Man, I think I'm turning into a maze master. Can you believe how fast I am at this, Ashley? Oh, Ashley thinks mazes are way too easy to bother with. Okay, I know a way to make mazes too difficult for even her super brain. For the next maze, we're only allowed to look in the mirror. Do you want to try my mirror maze challenge, Ashley? Find a maze that Daniel the Maze Master hasn't already done. Okay, that one. Put it down in front of the mirror. Now this is the interesting bit. I'm gonna block your view of the paper so you can only see it reflected in the mirror. Now try and complete the maze. Pretty hard, eh? You can't even keep your pencil in the lines. And you thought mazes were so easy.
Daniel's mirror maze challenge is difficult because of what is called hand-eye coordination. Our maze master's mind is used to a certain set of signals between his eyes and his brain. But when the mirror reverses the image received by Daniel's eyes, his brain has to work out a whole new way of telling his hand what to do. It's slow at first, but if Daniel did it for long enough, his brain would get used to the reversed image and his maze drawing would get faster.
Finally, a maze puzzle to impress Ashley and challenge the master. Now that's what I call an amazing back-to-front brain teaser.
Wow, that really had my head in a spin for a while there.
Yep. And Jade and Billy are starting to get their heads around what floats and what doesn't.
We're about to find out how our eggs float in our mini pool and our mini ocean. First, I'll put my egg in the salty water. Hey! It sinks, then it floats almost back up to the top. Now Billy's turn. Into the non-salty water and straight to the bottom. Yep, sank like a stone, just like Billy.
By adding salt, Jade has increased the density of her water. The denser water makes it harder for gravity to pull the egg down, so it floats higher in the water. Billy's unsalted water is less dense than Jade's, so his egg goes straight to the bottom.
Well, if Billy's going to become a top-class floater, we either have to fill our swimming pool with salt, or Billy's going to have to learn how to keep that air mattress under control.
Hang in there, Billy. You'll work it out in the end.
Speaking of endings, we've come to the end of another show. See you next time.
Coming up, a brilliant backyard balancing act.
A foolproof way to catch funky-looking fish.
A cunning trick for threading thick cotton through a tiny needle.
And a cool way to cram a large coin through a small hole.
But first, Dana, what are you doing?
I'm practicing. One day I might just be good enough to join Jordan's Backyard All-Stars band.
1 and a 2 and a 3. We'd love to have our own rock band. Me on guitar, Grace on keyboards, and Patrick going wild on drums. Oh, it's no good. Come on, guys. We've got to do something about having no instruments. We're gonna make some that make real music. Right, the most important instrument in the band, a guitar. I got a cardboard tube, tissue box, rubber bands. How does that make a guitar, you may ask? All I have to do is make a small hole in this side of the box, then stick the cardboard tube in here and tape it up. See, it's already looking like a guitar. Okay, so now I need my strings. Just pull those around the box. Not too tight, guys. And check it out. One rock and roll guitar. Now we can think about keyboards. Grace, get those fingers limbered up.
Abdul and I are expert fishermen, but we just haven't been lucky today. Wait, I think I got one. Oh no, it was just a piece of weed. I don't know why we can't catch anything today. Maybe we're using the wrong bait. Hey, I know another type of fishing that would be a lot more fun. Come on. Let's head back to shore and I'll show you my plan. We're home in record time. Let's go. I got the shiny cardboard here. We'll each take a piece and draw a fish shape on it. The silver side of the card will make our fish easier to see underwater. Now carefully cut out the shape. Hey, nice fish shape, Abdul. Then we slip a bulldog clip over their mouths. It'll make our fish heavy enough to sink to the bottom. Now here's my new fishing bait. We're gonna try out at sea. It's a magnet. We tie a magnet onto the end of our fishing line. Let's test them. Yes! The fish can't resist our magnetic bait. Let's go back out there. Hey Abdul, you know how the magnet bait works on dry land? Do you think it will still work underwater? I don't know if magnetism does work through water. We'll just have to try. In go the fish. Okay, first to catch a very rare and delicious magnet fish is the winner. Come on, fishies. Come to my yummy magnet. Yay! I've got one. Abdul caught one too.
Well done, boys. Yep, magnetism is a force that works through water. In fact, not much gets in its way at all. Magnetic forces can even pass right through solid objects, like the Earth itself, which behaves like one big magnet, surrounded by its own gigantic magnetic field.
There's just one problem with these magnetic fish. They're not gonna be very tasty.
Nothing wrong with cardboard fish, I say.
There wasn't much wrong with Jordan's cardboard guitar either. And I can't wait to see what Grace is going to come up with for her killer keyboard instrument.
We've already made a guitar. Now Grace has a cool idea about how we can make a keyboard instrument. Okay, she's lining up glasses and tipping water in. Ah, all at different levels. Interesting. I see. Go maestro. Cool, eh? The water level makes the glass sound different every time the spoon hits it. Now stand by for some ear-splitting drums.
I like sewing my own clothes, but I don't like having to thread the needle. Sometimes it just takes me so long to get it through. Hey! Here we go, John to the rescue. Oh, talk about beginner's luck. Thanks. Jordan thinks he's so smart. But I know a trick that'll show he can't do everything. Oh, Jordan! Can you help me for a minute? I want you to thread the needle for me. But I want you to thread it with one eye closed. It's not so easy now, is it, Jordan?
We can see even small objects quite well using one eye. But we need both eyes to help us judge what is close and what is far away. Because our eyes are spread apart, they can judge distances much better when they get a fix on an object from two angles. This is called depth perception. And two eyes are definitely better than one.
Looks like Jordan has met his match.
Oh, man. I can't even thread a needle with both eyes open.
Well, you'd better look at Emily's next little trick. That's what I call a real eye-opener.
Ah, it's Kimberly. And there's the lunch money she owes me. Thanks, I needed that. My money jar's getting very low. Uh-oh. There's a hole in my pocket. And the money's gone straight through. You think it's funny, do you? Come on then, smarty pants. I've got a little game for you.
I'll give you back all the money you just gave me if you can pass it through another type of hole. Okay, I'm going to trace around this small coin to make a circle. Now, I fold the circle in half and carefully cut it out with the scissors. There. What we end up with is a hole smaller than this large coin. My challenge for Kimberly is to pass one of the large coins through the much smaller hole. She'll never get it through like that. Hey, no tearing the paper! Don't you believe I can do it? Watch and learn, Kimberly. Fold the paper in half like this and place the coin in the fold. Then carefully bend open the hole while it's folded in half. There. Easy. I guess I'll be keeping the cash.
A coin trick like this is a great example of the science of changing shapes and surfaces. By folding one shape, it can be made to stretch around a bigger shape, even though neither object actually changes size.
Thanks to sheer cleverness, my money jar gets a top-up after all.
Look at Lara, lady of the manor, and I'm a slave for the day. Hey, I just thought of something that might let me escape from this slavery. Okay, Lara, how about taking a glass, a cork, a toothpick and 2 forks and balance them all on this glass with only the toothpick touching the glass? Wrong, all 3 things have to balance. It's still wrong. They must all balance, but only the toothpick touches the glass. Let the master show you how it's done. First you stick the toothpick into one end of the cork. See? Now stick one of the forks into the side of the cork and a second fork into the cork at right angles to the first fork. There, see? Forks at right angles to each other. Now I'll try balancing it on my finger and lowering it onto the rim of the glass. Yay! There we are. Victory is so sweet.
Zach's trick is all about the centre of gravity. All objects have a centre of gravity. It's the point at which the downward forces of gravity are balanced at one point in the sideways direction. The centre of gravity doesn't have to be located on the object, but can be somewhere around the object, just as it is at the point where the toothpick touches the rim of the glass.
Now it's my turn to be Lord of the Manor. Make it snappy, please, slave. Now that was a challenge worth winning.
Music to my ears.
No, it wasn't. It was disgusting. I think it's time we went back to some real music.
Every band needs some rhythm. And Patrick is a master of improvisation. He's going to need a whole drum kit. And those kitchen containers are making all the right noises. Excellent! We're almost ready for our first live gig. Come on, guys! Great! Our audience is here. Just a little tune-up, and the Backyard All-Stars are about to hit the big time.
All of the instruments work because of the way sound vibrates through different objects. Plucking the rubber guitar strings causes them to vibrate. The vibrations then bounce around inside the box in the neck, making a guitar sound. And each time Grace taps a glass, it vibrates at a rate depending on the water level. The higher the water level, the less glass there is to vibrate, so the higher the musical note. Patrick's drums also vibrate when he taps them, but the larger area on top of the drum vibrates at a slower rate. That makes a deeper sound. All the different sounds combine to make a band. Go, you Backyard All-Stars!
Not bad.
Maybe just a bit more practice before we hit the big time. Till then, rock on!
I really wish I could join the Backyard All-Stars. Although it wasn't very nice of their audience to disappear like that.
That's true, Dana. But our audience is about to disappear too, because we've come to the end of another show.
See you next time.